What we're looking at here is Brougham Old Bridge, which is an historic listed structure in the landscape, really important next to Brougham Castle. Here is a particularly obvious example of a damaged bridge, very high profile location, very important in the landscape, a lot of attention paid to it. But all across the county there are bridges that have cut off communities, there are sections of carriageway that have been very badly damaged by the floodwater. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of sites around the county where works are being done to put the highway network back to the condition it needs to be in. Over the course of the next 3 years we'll be spending over £100 million in Cumbria simply recovering the infrastructure back to where it was before Storm Desmond. This is a really complicated structure. It's an old stone arch bridge, but in its history it's also had a concrete saddle put to it. Without that saddle the bridge would have collapsed into the river by now, and the saddle is holding it up. Now we don't want to put anybody underneath the bridge to make a full inspection or to carry out repair work until we were completely confident that we could do that in safety. Just above each of the piers there's monitoring equipment which will detect any movement of the bridge in any direction. These pick up that movement electronically and transmit it up to a signalling point up here where there's a very loud alarm, flashing light, and also that will communicate back to the office where we'll know immediately that any change has happened. What you can see is a bagged coffer dam which keeps the water out from the water coming downstream, and we're currently building a coffer dam exactly the same to the downstream side so that we can have a still water environment underneath the bridge and control any kind of silt that's released during the work. What we'll then do is we're going to pour a underwater concrete foundation underneath the damaged pier, and that will form a basis for doing some temporary works to create a new temporary cutwater out of interlocking concrete blocks. And what that will do is to protect the bridge through the winter, and then that means that next year we can get in and do a full permanent repair. Ideally we'd like to reopen the bridge to traffic, but that'll be a decision for next year. Once we've got the bridge safeguarded and protected for the winter, we can then start to think about how much money we need to spend to get it into the various conditions, either to open as perhaps a footbridge in the first instance, to open it to light traffic, or to open it as a full 44-ton DFT compliant bridge.